Hey there, today I'm going to review 2023 and preview 2024. Some good, some bad, and yeah, some ugly. In 2023, I reviewed less shoes than previously. I did 9 pairs in 2023 versus 13 in 2022, 19 in 2021, and 15 in 2020. And in Tim Grose's very entertaining YouTube video, I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, I ran the least of the shoe tubers that he reviewed. I ran the least, and I have some excuses that are coming up. My excuses are twofold: injuries and guilt. One I'm hoping will go away, one never goes away. Anyway, 11 weeks out with serious back pain was really what did it in with my mileage in 2023. I did about 1,600 kilometers in 2023, but I did 2,400 in 2021. So quite a significant drop. I did 3 marathons in 2023, 4 in 2022, 3 in 2021, and 1 in 2020. So it wasn't like I didn't want to run the distance, but yeah, the back pain, that took a lot of running out of the system. Of course, the guilt of having too many shoes. I mean, I have quite a lot of shoes. I think there's 55 pairs around here somewhere, and a lot of them have been barely run in, and so they're kind of piling up. And so I was really looking for compelling reasons to buy shoes. And of course, when you're injured, they're getting even less wear. And actually in 2023, I didn't see that many interesting shoes released as I had in previous years. Now, maybe that's because I hadn't tested as many as I did in the previous years. But yeah, I didn't see as many interesting shoes. Tim called me a Nike fanboy. I did review a lot of Nike shoes, but what I typically tend to do is make my way through a manufacturer. And in reality, Nike make a lot more interesting, different shoes than many manufacturers, probably because they're the largest. Brooks seem to make the same shoe year after year in various versions, Adrenalins and Ghosts and Transcends and Glycerins, and it's just the same shoe. They've changed that recently. They've got a much more dynamic range of shoes. I tested the Hyperion Max, a shoe I really did enjoy, and I'll probably test a few more in 2024. In other years, I'd done a lot of Hoka shoes, and then I got sort of made my way through there. I did a lot of On shoes, and then some Brooks, some Asics, and then some random shoes. And I find if you make a Nike video, it gets lots of views. If you make a video about, say, the N-Normal or Normal, it's probably the correct pronunciation, almost nobody watches them, but I still like them because I really do like those kind of interesting shoes. But again, this year I didn't find that many. But the good news is Tim has set me free of my guilt as the person on YouTube, the shoe tuber with the least shoes. Yeah, I'm now guilt-free for next year. So for 2024, buy more shoes. So what shoes do I think I'll get in 2024? Well, the Nike Ultrafly 3 is number 1 on the list. It should be released on January 4th. Set the alarm clock. So yeah, I'm hoping to buy that on January 4th. That's a shoe I really am looking forward to. Then there's the New Balance Fuel Cell Comp Elite version 4. I'm looking forward to that. I really do want to test that. The Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 2. I'm interested in that because I typically am midfoot to heel striker, and there isn't any heel on it. I'm wondering if it forces me more onto my forefoot, will I actually run faster? I know I run faster when I'm running on my forefoot, so that would be an interesting one to try and test. The Puma Fast or Nitro Elite 2. I'm interested in that. They claim that you can have a longer step in those shoes, and I have a short step. My cadence is near 180. My cadence is okay. It's the tiny legs and the short stride. So anything that'll help. So I'm looking forward to trying to test those. Possibly the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4. Asics are bringing out the new Superblast. I think it's called the Superblast Paris. I'm looking forward to that shoe, and there's lots of shoes that will come around the Olympics. There will be lots of shoes that nobody's said anything about that'll be released. Possibly, I'm looking forward to a Cloud Monster Max. If it's just a Cloud Monster 2, not all that interested. I do like the Cloud Monster. And yeah, so a couple of random shoes like that I really am interested in. Probably a lot more of the carbon plate shoes than the Easy Day shoes. I have lots of Easy Day shoes for running around in, but I've actually started to run more and more, typically run the marathon and downstream the carbon plate shoes for regular training. So I'll probably buy a load more of those, and probably some Brooks shoes that look interesting on the horizon. So of the shoes I did test, What do I think of them? Well, the worst shoe in 2023 by a long way, the most overhyped. I really didn't like it. I didn't like it so much that it's not here. I sent it back, and that's the Nike Ultrafly. It was too heavy, it was too flat, it was way too average. It was, I don't know, I was expecting, I think a lot of people were expecting something akin to Vaporfly for the trails. I expected it would get heavier, but I thought it would be a lot more. I think it was dull, flat, really. I have nothing good to say about the shoe. Anyway, it's gone, it's not here. Let's talk about the ones I did like. The most surprising shoe I tested in 2023 is this, the Nike Infinity RN4 GTX. I mean, it was a very surprising shoe. I expected to send it back. I was really surprised I didn't send it back. I'm delighted I didn't send it back, but initially I picked it up and it's way too heavy. This is twice the weight of my Vaporfly 3s. And so I thought I'd send it back because as a running shoe, I just thought it was way too heavy. Now, I have run in it, but it's actually rarely off my feet because I walk in it all the time. It's an incredibly comfortable shoe to walk in. I've said this before, it's kind of like it's got a memory foam in it. It feels really super to walk in. I actually like the look of the shoe. And I've used it a couple of times where I didn't want to carry two shoes, say to work, and I was running around at lunchtime and I just wanted to bring one shoe in. And so, yeah, it's heavy for running, but I mean, you can still train in it. It's not a problem. So yeah, this is my most surprising shoe of 2023. My most improved shoe of 2023 is this, the North Face Summit Vective Pro Trail. This shoe it's probably my most used shoe for running in. It's got a magic grip. The grip is sensational. As I look out the window, it's a very wet day in Dublin, and this is absolutely perfect for a wet day. Really, really good grip. I'm running mainly not on trails as much, which is what the shoe is for, but sort of a lot of roads, a lot of footpath, some trail, and it's really, really good. The grip on pavement is really good. The ride is really nice. I ran a marathon in it. I ran the Jack and Jill marathon in it. The interesting thing is the upper is very, very breathable. I mean, it's really almost hyper breathable. You can feel the air coming through. And on a wet day, that mightn't be ideal if it was actually raining. But on days like today where it has rained, and in Dublin it either has rained or is about to rain or is raining. So running out when the ground is wet is really super shoe. The things they improved the width dramatically for me. It really affects me. They improved the laces. They improved the upper, so it wasn't a booty construction, and they added the rocker. And yeah, this is a shoe I really, really like having. And yeah, it's a massive improvement on its earlier version. Chapeau. What was the best shoe that I tested in 2023? Of the shoes I tested that I liked that didn't get mentioned previously, the Tomir Waterproof, the Normal shoe, is a great shoe, really good for running. I'd certainly pick that for running in the wet over the Infinity RN4 GTX. But the best shoe is this, the Vaporfly 3. Well, I mean, the evidence. I knocked 10 minutes off my personal best in a marathon wearing these. It's not totally down to the shoe. And I qualified for Boston. So that was, yeah, so it'd be really mean not to give it to this shoe. It's very light, it's very fast, and I've run 2 marathons in it now. The second one I took it easy in the New York Marathon. But yeah, it's a shoe that I've really, really liked, and I'm really looking forward to trying to compare it to the Alphafly 3 that comes out in January 2024. What shoes did I miss buying in 2023? Sometimes shoes come out at a time when you're injured, you can't test them. Sometimes they come out 3 in a row or all together and you've got to pick one. Sometimes they're not available in your size. There are all sorts of combinations. And you typically want to test a shoe when it's new. That's when most people watch it before the show has left town. And it's more enjoyable to do it then. So the Hoka Rocket X2, I didn't get it when it first came out because I hated the Rocket X. But I tried the Rocket X2 in the Rotterdam Expo and it was a really good shoe. I really, really did like that shoe. Ran on the treadmill a bit on it. So that's a shoe that I wish I'd got at the start. The Asics Superblast wasn't available in my size. And yeah, I missed that. The Superblast Paris is coming out. So looking forward to that. I didn't get hold of the Adidas Adios Pro Evo 1. I'm not sure I missed it very much, but I would have liked to have tested it, but I didn't get a hold of a pair of those. So I'm sure there'll be shoes that I'll miss in 2024, but for 2023, it was really the Rocket X2 and the Asics Superblast that I missed the most. The most hyped shoe of 2023 was the Adidas Adios Adizero Pro Evo 1. It was really hyped, the limited release, and so what I discovered though was that you can review a shoe without having it. So I made videos reviewing shoes I didn't have, and so the most hyped shoe of 2023 was definitely the Adidas one, and I suppose the most awaited for 2024 is the Nike Ultrafly 3. I would like to test the two together, that I would like to do, but yeah, there was a lot of hype about those, and I certainly discovered that you can make videos about a shoe that you don't have, and people will often watch, more people will watch those, and sometimes you make videos of shoes that you actually do have. So yeah, I might do a bit more of that in 2024. In terms of the tech I got in 2023, well, the best running tech was this, the Stride Duo, a second Stride foot pod, and you pair them together and you can get all sorts of rich data out of them. And as somebody who loves data and loves looking at it, yeah, that was something that I was really pleased with, and surprisingly, it was surprisingly way better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm looking forward to testing some of the carbon fiber plate shoes that come out in all sorts of various shoes in 2024 and looking at them on the Stride Duo. Of the other tech I got, the best filming tech, I got a GoPro Hero 12. I pretty much get this every year, 11, 10, 9, etc. And I made a video, almost nobody watched it. I was really surprised with my GoPro videos that almost nobody watched, but I got the tech anyway, and it is a GoPro. From a design point of view, really they're terrible. There's loads of really terrible things. Every year I think of making videos about how bad GoPros are in terms of design, but I never get around to it. I don't really like making videos knocking stuff if I can avoid it. But the GoPro Hero 12 was a small improvement on the 11. So yeah, I use it all the time. But the other thing that I got that you don't see is a small rig V-mount system, which is behind the camera. It's really good. It's a large battery that powers everything, and that has been the single biggest, best bit of filming tech I got in 2023. My biggest waste of money in 2023 was buying the Nike Ultrafly. I say it was the biggest waste of money. It wasn't really, because I sent it back and got a refund. But if I hadn't bought it on the Nike app where I could run in it and return it, it definitely would have been. But yeah, probably the biggest waste of money, Nike Ultrafly. The best thing I got in 2023 in terms of cost and value is this tiny little ball from Decathlon. I think it says it's a Corinth. Strange, portmanteau of words. But anyway, this is core strength ball. And I've had back injuries, as I've droned on about, and I stick that in the wall and rotate around. It has been really fantastic, really best thing I got by miles. Followed closely by this towel. I won't unroll it, but it's a BG towel from everything in Decathlon. Is relatively inexpensive, and this is a very, very large gym towel. It folds up really tightly. It's not heavy, and it's got this little drawstring that wraps it up. I probably haven't wrapped it up anywhere near like it would look in Decathlon. I'm probably going to go out and see how they did it to remind myself how to fold this towel. But it's really good, really lightweight, and it's huge. And then when you've unrolled it, you can just use it as a hook. So actually, I'm probably going to use this. I've started using this in lieu of any other towel in the house, and really good for getting you dry, which I find essential. My favorite purchase in 2023 by far, by miles, are these, my New York City Marathon gloves by New Balance. They are really superb in so many ways. I don't know what they cost, and they're not available because I did try to buy them the other day, but I'll put them on, and yeah, I really enjoy them, but for so many reasons. Well, I suppose the first thing is they say New York City Marathon on them, and that's a commemorative, so it's there. What I really love is they've got the names of each of the boroughs on the 5 fingers, or the 4 fingers in the thumb. So you've got Staten Island, you've got Brooklyn, you've got presumably Queens, the Bronx, and Manhattan. Really good, but technically they're really, really good gloves. They're very, very grippy. They're very lightweight. They're lighter than any of my other gloves. They're 16 grams in each glove, or 0.56 ounces. They have the touch screen. They work with touch screen really well. Obviously they're warm. There's some reflectivity in them, and they hook together. So these are the most amazing gloves. I thought I lost them one day. I went into a panic because I couldn't buy any on the website. So they're kind of memento, but they're actually just judged as gloves. They're really super. I have another pair of gloves that I used I never got around to reviewing gloves, even though I've got lots of them. But the Seiskai gloves, these are really interesting. The ones they're sort of half mittens. There's a reflective piece that pulls over. These were sent to me. These are really good. So I'd wear these when it's a bit colder than the New York Marathon gloves. The other thing that's unusual about these, they have the touch screen, they have the grippy things, but just at your thumb, there's a sort of hole there to get your thumb out. I don't know if that's for some sort of thumb reader, but it's interesting. But these are great gloves as well. But yeah, my best purchase 2023, New Balance New York City Marathon gloves by miles. My most treasured possession that I got in 23, it's I don't know how to describe it in terms of it's not particularly functional. I'm not sure that it does anything. It's not very gadgety, and I like a nice gadget, but it's the New York City Marathon medal. It is really superb. The quality of this is really, I was really surprised, blown away by it when it came. I was really surprised. Yeah, it was, in one sense, it's funny because I was trying to think to myself, was that hard earned? And in one sense, no, because but the thing was, I had to run 2 marathons to get it. I ran the Strava virtual New York City Marathon to get into the New York City Marathon, and then I ran the New York City Marathon itself. So I had to run 2 marathons to get this medal. But yeah, very well worth it. I say run, but I sort of ran, walked, filmed, enjoyed myself. But yeah, it's really treasured. It's a really beautiful medal, and enjoyed every second of getting it. I don't take running for granted. I don't really take anything for granted, I hope. I was really lucky in 2023. I know I got injured, but even just doing any running is always great. And I was lucky enough to run in Rome. I ran in Belgium, in Antwerp. I ran in the US. I ran in New York. I ran in Seattle and Washington. I ran a lot in Dublin, made a video of that. My favorite run this year was, I ran in China. I ran on the Great Wall of China, and that was just fantastic. I've been to the Great Wall before, but this time I arrived out really early. There was almost nobody around, and just a sense of joy, of freedom, ironically enough. Running around the Great Wall of China with nobody to bother me was just really fantastic. It was early in the morning, and I was perspiring a huge amount afterward. A Chinese man asked me, was I okay? And I was in my element. But yeah, that was the highlight of the fun running in 2023. In terms of the non-fun running, I ran 3 marathons. I ran the Rotterdam Marathon in the Netherlands. I ran the Jack and Jill Marathon in North Bend in Washington State in the USA, and I ran the New York City Marathon. And my biggest achievement out of those in 2023 was in Rotterdam, where I qualified for Boston. It was something I've been trying to do for a long time, and it's something that you don't know if you're going to do it, which is part of the joy of it. For someone like me, I mean, there's some people, and I'm sure some of you can just go out and run and qualify. For a lot of people like me, it takes some serious effort. And I turned 60 in March, and so I was really looking forward to the Rotterdam Marathon, which I kind of entered on a whim. I would since say it was just a stunning marathon. Everything about Rotterdam was stunning. It's the one marathon that of all the ones I've done so far and in particular when I saw, because I was around at the end, and I saw the very last people coming across the line, because I was out trying to film. And then when the last person crossed the line, they were presented with the medal by the winner of the marathon from earlier on that day. And I thought I don't know if that was a one-off. I'll be looking this year to see if that happens, but it was really classy, and the crowds were amazing. Sometimes you turn up at marathons and there are a lot of people cheering, but you don't get the feeling that they're cheering for you. When I was in Rotterdam, I felt they weren't just cheering for me, they were shouting at me. And so huge thanks to everyone from Rotterdam who turned up on the day. But that for me was overwhelming, the biggest achievement probably ever. It certainly meant I took my foot off the gas for all the other races, but yeah, it was really fantastic. The best decision I made in 2023 was turning my New York City Marathon from a race into just an enjoyable day out. I was running across the 59th Street Bridge, and I just stopped in awe of Manhattan. That's my excuse. But I was just looking around at Manhattan, and then afterwards I made a playlist of all the songs about one per kilometer pretty much of the marathon. So if you went onto the playlist tabs, you could watch all of my it's a whole load of videos strung together with some commentary. But afterwards I discovered the Simon and Garfunkel song, which I knew well, Feeling Groovy, the 59th Street Bridge song, and in there they go, slow down, you're going too fast, you got to make the moment last. And it's ironic because that's exactly what was in my head when I was going across the bridge. And then after that I basically went down First Avenue and I went into a first aid tent for some food. I stopped in that wasn't enough for me. I had dropped my Morton before and I sort of ran out of energy gels, and then I just decided to step off the course and I went into a deli on our local store and I bought myself a massive turkey sandwich and a half litre of Coke, and I just sat there or stood there drinking and watching the race go by. And then after that I just filmed and stopped and just took it all in. And yeah, that was the best decision in 2023. Not necessarily the best race, but you know, it's not all about the racing. Sometimes it's just about the mental side of it. And yeah, that was the best thing I did in 2023. Never forget it. Another huge highlight of 2023 for me, maybe not for you, was meeting some of you in and around this year. So I went for a run with Troy in Dublin. I met Chris and John and Stephen in New York. Well, I met Stephen in the airport in Dublin, and it was great traveling alongside with Stephen and then Chris and John. And so hoping to see you both again next year. And also I was really sorry I missed Alex. We've been doing sort of marathons in the same sort of program, but somehow missed each other in New York. But yeah, that was a real highlight, was actually meeting people in reality. I made a lot of videos in 2023. I made the usual one a week plus several others, so 50 something videos, and enjoyed making every single one of them. I love the technical challenge of making videos. I really do enjoy that side of things, and I love reviewing shoes and trying to get better at filmmaking, all that sort of stuff. I'll make a video about making YouTube videos at a later stage, but essentially I had a great 2023 of video making, at least from my point of view. So but my favorite video that I made by far was the one which was about the hat that Mick sent me. So yeah, I really, this video is not about running, so much so that I decided to make some more of them. So that was yeah, when my sister-in-law told me that she really liked that video, I thought yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough praise for me. New Year's Day is a few days away, and I'm planning all my running and stuff for 2024. Loosely, I'm going to run the Boston Marathon in 2024. I'm running the Dingle Marathon in 2024. I'm looking forward to trying to film that. It's a very beautiful part of Ireland. I'm not running the Dublin Marathon in 2024. I didn't get in. That was probably a double-edged sword. So the Dublin Marathon will always be there, and well, at least as long as I'm here, it'll be there. And so I'll probably try and enter every year, because once you get in, I think you can get in every year. So I'm not so worried that I didn't make it this year. I'm looking forward to running in the summer. I'm hoping to do a run with Chris. I'm hoping to maybe break my 5K personal best and definitely have a shot at my 1K personal best. So Dingle is, I think, in September, and as soon as that's over, and then obviously the weather is cooling, but I'm going to try and break my 5K personal best or my 1 kilometer personal best sometime during the year. So yeah, that's my running plans for 2024, and I'm going to go to a couple of other countries, so maybe make some videos about running in some other countries. So yeah, lots to do and run in 2024. As well as my running plans for 2024, I have some filmmaking plans, and they might take my entire summer. I'm going to try and film my James Joyce half marathons. I turned all of James Joyce's 4 major works into half marathons, as you do, and created the routes and documented them, all that sort of stuff. But I want to film them. So that's one thing I would like to do. Then the next thing I would like to do is to finally do a triathlon. I've been planning my James Joyce Finnegan's Wake triathlon, which is where I swim in the River Liffey for a bit, and then I cycle out from the centre of Dublin around the Hill of Howth and come back, and then I run around a little bit in the Phoenix Park, all in the middle of the night. So that's a plan, and to do all of that I have to learn filmmaking, and specifically I have to learn how to use this. So let's have a go and see if I can learn how to do this. So hold that, and hopefully something will happen. Anytime now, in your own time. Here we go. Hey! Yeah. I gotta learn how to use that. So, thanks everyone for watching in 2023. More to come in 2024. Whoa. Hope I don't kill myself.